What's up everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, we're going to look at how to get the most efficient and most profitable ads for Godot. And this isn't just for Godot, but we're going to focus on Godot. So what you want to do first is make sure that you have use build gradle on, okay? There's nothing else that you have to look at. If you watched the previous video, I would just suggest that you get rid of any debug or release keys, as that might mess things up, and also just the unique name. You can have anything, but Yodo1 MAS actually provides one for you, and if you want you can just put that in there. So now we're going to go to whatever browser you use, and you want to search, just go and search Yodo1 MAS, and it's going to be the first link. You're going to click and it's going to ask you to create an account. It's going to sign in and it's going to take you to the dashboard. After that, you're going to head down to management. And under management, you should see something called games. And here you're going to probably have nothing if this is the first time you're using it. So you're going to click add new game. And here, if you have a live app, you can add the link to the Play Store, App Store. In this case, we're not using a live game. And here we can just put the name of the game. So up here, we're just using my first project. So that's what I'm going to put here, my first project. Next, you're going to choose Android or iOS. Now I'm using Android and this tutorial is not going to focus on iOS at all. So you might want to look for another video if you're looking for iOS. In our project, we've set this up to use landscape. So over here, I'm going to have to select landscape and then I'm going to click next. Engine, we're using Godot, and then next ads. Here you can select whatever ad you're going to be using. For this video, we're just going to look at interstitial. Now, you don't want to share these keys usually. I'm okay with you guys seeing this because this is a test and I'm not using this for my actual games. But if you were to use someone else's code, they're going to get all the profit from your ads. So make sure to use the correct codes. From here, we can just click manage game and you'll go back to this list. From here, you're going to click documentation. And if you don't see documentation, just click the support button. It's the next one. Okay, from here, you're going to click Godot. And now there's a lot of things here that you have to do. So first, you're going to go to your prerequisites. When you're setting up Android, I've got a video on that. In my last video, we covered how to set Android Studio up. And this is actually going to be perfect for if you've already done that. Now for the installation, you're going to go to this GitHub link. In here, you just want to download the zip. Okay, here, let's just go and put it in downloads for now. I'm going to replace it because I've already downloaded it. You're going to click on issues. So unfortunately, the current version is using Godot 3.0, and to get the correct version of script, you actually have to go here, and I've posted an issue, and here you can just click yodo1mas.txt and you can download this. Now let's just save it in the same place, and now we're going to go back to our Godot project, and you want to make sure that you have your Android build template installed. So if you don't have it, you might have to install it first and then make sure that you add it to the project. Now you're going to click on Android here and you're going to click open in file manager. Here you're going to see quite a few things. Once you open build. This might look confusing, but it's quite simple. The first thing we want to open is build.gradle. Now there's three specific things we have to change here for this to work. I currently have mine already set up, so I'm going to get rid of the things that we need to copy and paste. If you go back to the integration page, you're going to scroll down and look for here where it says repositories. Here, all you want to do is copy all the Maven URL links in a sense. You're going to go back to this text file and you want to go to where it says repositories. It's right at the top. And here you can simply paste it. Now, it's not going to be perfectly formatted and it actually doesn't matter. I just like mine looking the same, and I'm sure you do too. Neat code is always better, in my opinion. And the next thing we need is the dependencies. So you're just going to copy this implementation where it says Yodo1 MAS full 4.1.5, sorry, 4.15. and you're going to go down to dependencies, and we're going to put it here with all the other implementations. Now this one's even more annoying because it needs 3 spaces to put in the right spot. The next thing you're going to look for is the default config, which is further down, and here you can just space some space in here, and we're going to now copy down here where it says enable multi-dex. You're going to copy this section right here where it says multi-dex enabled. And we're simply going to paste it right here. And that's everything you have to do for this specific project, for this specific file. The next thing you want to do is you're going to click on Gradle properties. Now, when you go here, you're going to see this. There won't be that third one that I just deleted. And what we actually need to do is in the documentation, it says Android enable dexing artifact transform. Now that actually doesn't work anymore. So with the latest version, we actually have to go and use an entirely different Android thing. And for that, it's actually use full class path for dexing transform. So I'm going to put this in the description, and you can copy it straight from there. And you just want to make sure that it's in the same area. It's going to look nice and neat. And that's what you have to do for this part. The next thing is the Android manifest. Now, when I was looking for this, it took me forever to find. And the reason for this is they've actually changed, Godot's changed where they put it. So the Android manifest is actually going to be in source and then go to main. Here you're going to click on Android manifest, and I just clicked on it, but you actually want to right click and click edit. Now you're going to see I have a thing here called add mob ID. I'm going to remove this and show you exactly how to get that. So you're going to go back here to the integration, and you want to copy this section here called metadata. And what I like to do is I also copy this comment because I'm going to change that so that it's nice and neat. This is something that you might want to copy from one project to the next, and that's why it's nice having a nice spot where you can put that in. And so here I have that section, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go add mob ID, and we're going to just have that in. Now we have a nice little section here, and we can clearly see everything. The next important thing is here you can see it says your add mob app ID. Now, Yodo1 MAS makes this very easy. All you have to do is go back to your games, and you're going to click whatever game you're using. You're going to click here where it says copy add mob ID, and you're just going to paste it in right here. Make sure to save, and that's just Control S. The next thing that you have to do is you're going to go to your downloads, and you should have your Yoda plugin, the Godot plugin, downloaded. Here we're going to extract all, and I'm just going to replace because I've already downloaded this. I'm actually going to rename this just so that it makes a whole new project. So you're going to open this, and you're going to then see these 3 folders. And what you want to copy are these top 2. And you're going to go back to your project, and you're going to go into Android. In here, we're going to make a new folder. It's going to be called plugins. We're going to paste our files in here. The next thing you have to do is you're going to need to put a script in your scripts folder. If you don't have a scripts folder, just make one. And it's actually this script, but you're going to see just now what we're going to do to fix it. Because this is the old Godot script, but it's nice to have that script to work off of so you can just edit it. Okay, so here we're just going to paste it in there. And if we go back to Godot, we're going to get some errors maybe. Yeah, failed to load script. And you'll see why just now. Over here, this is meant to be at sports. But instead of us changing everything, because there's more errors throughout this thing, these are also errors. This is supposed to use a callable. So instead of us changing all of that by ourselves, we're going to go to downloads, and we're just going to open this text file, and here is all the code you need. And we can just copy this, and we'll just paste it right here into Godot, because that's going to be so much easier. And remember to save, and the next thing you want to do is go to project, export, and now that you've added that the plugins folder in your Android studio, you're going to see here it says plugins. Yours is probably going to be toggled off, so toggle that on. And if you don't see the plugin section, make sure you have Gradle turned on. Okay, from here, we're just going to simply make a test scene here. So in our main scene, I'm going to add a child. And what you're going to notice is if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's this Yodo1 MAS script. And we're just going to add that. And here into this Yodo1 MAS plugin, script, we're going to add some buttons. So we're just going to use some normal buttons. And the first one's going to be init. This is going to be used to initialize our interstitial. Now, I'm just going to say enter because there's no way I'm going to be spelling that right in this video. And then the next one is going to be show enter. Okay, these are now going to be in the exact same spot. So let's just move them and we'll put them in their own spots. The first one's going to be init, enter. The second one's going to be show enter. And we're just going to select both of them and we're going to then change the font size and we'll make it 75. Okay, this will then move here, same with this. Now we just want to connect this to any script. And the truth is you can connect it to a specific add class that you make, but it's so much easier to just use the script that they give you and just put everything in there. So for this, we're going to go to signals, we're going to go pressed, and we're going to add it to this Yodo1 MAS script. And over here where it says init enter pressed, we're going to add the initialize interstitial add. Now, if you're initializing a different add, you'll see all the other add options are here. So if you want a rewarded ad or if you want a banner ad, there will be a banner ad. So I'm just going to use interstitial add here. And then we're going to add our show interstitial. And it's going to be a bit down. Here we're going to just call show interstitial add. It's quite intuitive. But now what's actually happened is Yodo1 MAS has added some new features. And you can actually now see which sections of your app the ads are showing in. So for this, we're going to have to add a string and just put in where you've made that. So in this case, I have made it in main scene. This isn't vital. So if you want, you can just, for every single ad, use the exact same position. For instance, just going my game. But for this, we're just going to call it main scene. You want to go back to your game management area. And this key right here called app key, you're going to copy that. And you're simply going to put it in here and we're going to save the scene. Is if you go to project and your export, you have to make sure you have internet. So firstly, access network state and then internet turned on. Internet. If you do not have that turned on, it's actually not going to work. Now we're on the phone screen, and what I want you to notice is that I'm going to initialize it first. I'm going to wait a bit, and then we're going to click show enter. And there you have it. You have an ad running on your phone. Now, if this is what you've been looking for, yeah, you have it. Another thing to take note of is your game is going to make use of test ads, such as this one, until you switch back over to real ads. So to switch over, you'll go to your project and you'll go to add management. Here you're going to see something called test mode. Now mine's just taking a while to load, and test mode is on at the moment and you should keep it on until it's released. And this is just to make sure that you don't get banned from Yodo1 MAS, and you will get caught out if you just use this to try and make money, and I'd highly recommend you don't do that. But once you've released, you can turn test mode off. Now I'm not going to do that because I am still testing this. And that is it. So if this video was informative and you learned some things, I really do hope you give the video a like. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'd be happy to respond and help. And see you in the next video.